I'm opposed to it. Drunk driving is horrendous. The cost in lives and property damage is huge, and it's probably not taken seriously enough under Massachusetts law. People underestimate the impact of alcohol and other substances, frankly, on their system and on their motor skills, on their judgment, on their reflexes, on their ability to see clearly. They underestimate that constantly when they're drinking or taking cough syrup, frankly. It doesn't matter the source of the alcohol. All of this stuff can impair you and make your ability to drive a car inadequate. Well, if you're going to go out, you shouldn't drink if you're driving. So if you want to go out and have a couple of drinks and you're of age, it's crucial to have somebody who's going to operate the motor vehicle. Like I mentioned earlier on, the cost in lives and property damage is huge. And even when you get the car fixed, sometimes these people end up with lasting pain. I got rear-ended by somebody who was smoking weed. My wife was in pain for a long time. Had to go to the chiropractor a lot to get straightened out from a rear-end impact. So it didn't go away right away just because we got the car fixed. Yeah, it depends on the severity of an injury. If a drunk driver hits another car, then if you listen to the news, we often classify these things as life-threatening injuries or non-life-threatening injuries. And oftentimes people think, well, non-life-threatening injury, you're going to be fine. But you might not be. You might have, pain for the rest of your life. You might have an inability, you might have a limb that was so badly broken when they put it back together. It's not quite right. You're not going to be dancing the two-step anytime soon. So you can have lasting, life-altering injuries from car wrecks, as safe as they've made cars. You can't protect against everything. There's a transfer of energy that happens, and if you're interested in the math of it, you'd be surprised how much impact is absorbed by the human body, even though the car is designed to absorb as much of it as it can. There's limits. Yeah. And so when somebody's out there not driving responsibly, driving distracted, driving impaired on any number of things, if they're not in control of the 2-ton missile and it hits something at speed, at any speed, it's going to run it right over, and crush it. Lasting impacts are left. Well, the best bet is don't drink if you know you're going to drive, right? But there's some math involved in this. If you're going to have a drink and you're going to be someplace for 3 hours and you have the drink when you get there, the effects of the alcohol on a regular adult person will have worn off an hour before they plan on getting in the car. And again, I'll circle back around to the best bet is, if you know you're going to drive, don't drink. But if you're going to, it takes you about, on average, everybody's a little different, an hour to metabolize one alcoholic beverage through your system. And there's different ratios of, that's a beer, it's a glass of wine, which is a smaller amount of liquid, it's a shot, which again is a much smaller amount but more potent amount of liquid. So if you go in and say, hey, I had 3 shots, well, that's theoretically, you're not going anywhere for 3 hours. And you would have to plan that way. But again, if you're planning on going out and you're going to drink, people aren't usually doing the math, and that's where they go astray. They had a couple of shots, they had a couple of beers, and they're going to leave in 3 hours, and they'll be fine. But that's 4 drinks, and it's going to take them 4 hours to metabolize that. So they're going to be over the limit when they go out there to drive in. They're going to be impaired. So again, if you're going to drink, the best bet, don't drive.